Welcome back, everyone. S Tier Trader here, and we have finished our first month of trading on YouTube. First, you guys have been absolutely fantastic with my channel, and I appreciate it. And there will certainly be many, many more months to come. So, thank you all. So, this video includes 3 trades in 3 different markets from last week, including a loss, my first loss here on YouTube. The chapters are going to be in the video and description. The main focus on this video is going to be on trade number 3. So if you want to only watch one, make sure you click the timestamp to trade number 3. Before we start, as always, my goal is complete transparency with you guys in these charts. You can easily compare your own charts to mine using tradingview.com. Now, like I said, I had 3 different markets that I traded this week. So for trade number 1, this is the E-mini SMP March 2022 contract. And then the trades 2 and 3 were the Euro dollar and GBP dollar. So if you want to refer to those, make sure you pull up the forex.com data feed. We are analyzing the charts from February 15th, 16th, and 18th. And if you're skeptical at all, please note that I have my personal time listed in the bottom right for all 3 and all previous and future trades as well. All right, let's get started. So I am going to blow through trades number 1 and 2 quite quickly, and that's because both of these had very little volatility behind them at all. ICT mentioned in episode 9 of his YouTube mentorship that price action had been very choppy lately in the index futures. No doubt have I experienced this to be true. My first 2 trades are all about consolidations and then me exiting the trades due to the time protocol I have in place, and which you guys all know about and can see on the screen. This first short is in the ESH 2022 market, which is just the SPOO's March futures contract, and it was probably the tightest range I've actually ever seen for a session that I've participated in. Price moved maybe 25 handles for the entire range. There was a high volatility news event that actually occurred this day. However, the algorithm offered no movement whatsoever. My 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time protocol was hit, and I actually exit with my first loss of 2022. A loss of 8 handles. It doesn't seem like much, but it is a loss regardless. It's not so fun starting the week with a loss, but it's just the cost of doing business in this industry. You are going to take losses, whether you are brand new or a seasoned professional. It happens. It's also important to note that even though my time protocol caused me a loss in this case, it doesn't mean that I should alter the protocol in any way or scrap it altogether. I've learned from experience that this protocol helps me much, much more than it actually hurts me. You'll actually see it helping me in the next trade. On to trade number 2. I have moved away from the index futures market because I spotted a setup in the euro dollar. I ended up catching the low for my entry here. I did put my entry above the current price action in order to factor in spread. I always do this for my buy entries in Forex because in a live trade, your broker will very, very rarely give you the exact price that you want. They are going to start you out at a loss much more times than they don't. You can learn more about this in my first trade review. Just like the first trade of this review, I go to work after my entry and price does pretty much nothing all day, albeit a bit more than yesterday. You might have been noticing in my trades that I'm often finding myself in consolidations when I enter during the New York kill zone. In more volatile markets, the New York kill zone will often provide me entries for further expansion. This has not been the case during the start of 2022, at least from what I've seen. I have had a lot more success with volatility this year when I enter during the London kill zone, which makes a lot more sense seeing how the daily ranges have been so small. In this trade, my time protocol is once again hit. However, this time, I am up 17 pips in my favor. My protocol, along with my other technical analysis, has allowed me to offset my loss from yesterday and more. Remember that I've already hit my 90 pip goal for the month. I could stop trading this week entirely, or I could wait for a very high probability setup to occur. Before we move on to trade number 3, watch how price runs to my take profit number 1 not even a half hour after my time protocol took me out. That's just classic trading. On to trade number 3, and this is the trade where I would like you to participate with me. If you have been watching ICT's YouTube mentorship, you'll find me working with the exact same model taught there for this trade. We are in the British pound US dollar. Only this time we are trading during the London kill zone. I have paused the video here, and I would like you to look at where my entry is. Again, my entry is above where price was trading when I engaged. This is due to factoring in the spread. Let's go through the checklist of the model shown on ICT's YouTube mentorship. Step 1, I have determined a higher time frame directional bias. I am bullish. Step 2, I need to see a break in market structure higher. Does this occur? Pause the video. The answer is yes. In the final step, I then need to wait for the fair value gap to form before I enter. Again, take a second. Does this happen? Pause the video. The answer is yes. Now I'm going to hit play. Watch how price moves from here. Isn't it beautiful? Price runs higher and higher, taking out both of my take profits and netting me 18 pips on the trade. Now, if you want proof that ICT's mentorship model can A, be executed by traders other than just ICT, and B, work outside of just the index futures market, well, here you go. You might be thinking if this is the primary model that I trade personally, and the answer is no. However, thanks to experience and being a part of ICT's charter mentorship for so long, I am able to recognize when other models are forming. I can take part in their highest probable price moves. I truly believe you are fortunate to learn one profitable model on YouTube. One big struggle that stunted how fast I learned how to be profitable was information paralysis. In the paid mentorship, ICT threw everything and the kitchen sink at us. It was then up to us to not only study each tool, but determine their relevance in our personal trading. No doubt that learning all of this will be highly beneficial for me to hit my goal of financial freedom and beyond. However, the time and work it took to study, trust, and implement the tools was much more than anything I've ever applied myself to. In the YouTube mentorship, you are given a specific model to use. You are only taught the tools relevant to that model. I believe that this is extremely beneficial because you'll know exactly what you'll need to study and gain experience on to use that model effectively. And if for some reason you think you're hindered by having only one model in your repertoire, ICT also teaches the optimal trade entry model on YouTube as well. One model is all you need, however. I speculate that anyone can trade professionally by mastering just one model on YouTube, whether that's the YouTube mentorship model or the optimal trade entry model. I believe that one of the advantages that I get from being a charter member comes from after becoming a professional trader, where I will continue into financial freedom and beyond. That's not to say that you can't do that as well, but I certainly will have more additional tools than you to help me do things like call the daily high, like happened in this market that you see here. Cool how that happens, hey? My first month on YouTube is now over, and it truly has been fantastic. You guys are just so awesome, and I'm very pumped to take this journey with you all. We are going to do some great things together. If you want to be part of those great things, make sure you go long on those like and subscribe buttons. I finished this week with 27 pips in handles, giving me 138 pips in my first month on YouTube. And you can see each one of those pips form right here on my channel. This is well over doubling my money every single year. And here's the kicker. You already know that I work full time, but I'm actually going to school as well. I say that because even though you and I can be extremely busy sometimes, we can still not only make time to learn how the markets function, but capitalize on them as well, much more so than the rate of the average professional trader today. You might be thinking, well, why am I going to school if I want to become a professional trader? And don't worry, I'm going to talk about this in a future video that I will release soon. I will say that I am becoming a chartered professional accountant in less than a year. And if there is ever a skill that would accompany a professional trader, I would submit to you that accounting may be the absolute best. More on that later. That's all I've got for this week. Keep studying hard, guys. You can absolutely do this. good luck and good trading. If you want to learn how to set up your charts just like ICT, click the video on the left. If you want to learn how to set up the absolute best tool for learning how to trade, click the video on the right. Please go along on the like and subscribe buttons. Good luck and good trading.